are they going to hire me because of the company that I work for, or are they going to hire me because of me?
Welcome to the Real Estate Game Plan Podcast, where we bring you inspiration, actionable steps, and knowledge to build your game plan to take your real estate business to the next level. My name is Demo.
And I'm Derek, and we are licensed real estate brokers and your hosts for this podcast. Let's get started. We come to you with a really good question, a question that we receive on a regular basis. We probably had it as well especially when we were new, which is, what do sellers really look for and value? Are they going to hire me because of the company that I work for, or are they going to hire me because of me?
Mm-hmm. What about the designation you have for helping sellers, certified buyers, agent, things like that?
How many deals I've closed? What is actually really going to matter? So those are good questions. And we're going to dive in and take a look at an NAR study where we can actually see what was reported as top reasons why sellers actually chose the listing agent that they worked with.
Yep. And this is a NAR 2021 complete study, so a full year study of sellers, and we're going to look at percentages of why those sellers chose the listing agent that they chose. And so very eye-opening information on here, so stay tuned so we can go through all of that with you. But let's lead off with the most important factors for sellers, and then we're going to flip and turn it to the least important factors for sellers. So most important, number one, Derek.
So the number one, reputation of agent.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of, something where you would say, okay, I could understand that as an agent. My reputation has to be good. You see my reviews online. You know I've sold a lot of properties. My reputation stands out. And so what was the percentage on that one?
The percentage was actually 31%.
Okay.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's almost a third of the entire 100% study there is for the reputation of the agent. Kind of understandable. So what about number two?
So number two is agent is honest and trustworthy.
Okay. And what was the percentage on that?
The percentage on that one is 26%.
26%. So we're looking at 26% for any agent, because if you're honest and trustworthy, you don't have to be an experienced agent to do that, right? You should be honest and trustworthy regardless.
Absolutely.
But any agent can do that. So 26% agent, honest and trustworthy, 31% reputation. If you are experienced, you have a good reputation, and you are honest and trustworthy, then now you're looking at 57% of the entire thing. So more than half of the sellers chose for one of those two reasons. You have both, you're in a great spot. But even if you're new, without a great reputation in real estate, you still are at 26%, likelihood of being chosen just from that, being honest and trustworthy.
Absolutely. And number three is, and this is very interesting, is agent is friend or family member.
And what was the percentage?
Only 15.
Yeah. So who knows, right? Was that the agent who chose not to work with family, or the family or friend who chose not to work with the family or friend agent, right? So whatever that reason was, whatever that purpose was, we know that happens. But yeah, only 15% there. So it really drops off dramatically from there. So let's just recap. Number one, reputation. Number two,
agent is honest and trustworthy.
And number three,
agent is friend or family member.
So that's the bulk of the reason why sellers chose to work with the listing agent that they chose. So very important to be definitely in those top two. And then number three was kind of hey, it's 15%. So it maybe sways it a little bit, but not as much as those top two. So now let's take a look at the least important reasons that a seller chose, meaning the bottom of this scale.
Yes. And I was surprised a bit by this. So in the bottom three is agent's association with a particular firm.
Yeah. Okay. And was there another one that was close to that one?
There was. The next one, and these were both at 1%, is professional designations held by agent.
Wow. Okay. So that one's 1%, 1% for the firm affiliated with. So we tend to think a lot of times as agents that the more education you have, which is great, and you do need that, you want to stay educated and know what's happening in the marketplace. But sometimes we get a little bit caught up with, I have this on my email signature, I have this on my website, all great things, especially if you market it the right way.
Right.
But let's also think about how much time some of those things take and where's your time best spent. And so right now, based on this study, sellers are telling you they honestly could care less based on this study, right? Of number one, your affiliation, but also number two, any kind of designations that you have. It's probably great. It might be icing on the cake, but 1% for both of those.
Right, right. The designations may make you feel great, and that's wonderful. But what this study is showing us is that consumers are choosing the person, the agent,
Exactly.
not necessarily the company that they work for.
Yep. Yeah, I think that brings it to the broader topic that we were talking about is the sellers and buyers choose you based on knowing, liking, and trusting you, right? It's maybe a cliche, phrase to say out there, but it really is the case in almost everything that not only sellers and buyers do when they choose, but also we do that.
Right.
When we're, looking at CRM systems or choosing where to go eat or cars or whatever it is, we're not only typically just transacting, especially in a transaction the size of a home. We're not only transacting based on typically, designation of that auto salesperson or whatever. We're looking at, oh, my friend, works there. I know I can trust my friend to do that, transaction and treat me well. Or I know that person, maybe they're not the friend or family like we looked at number 3 on this list. And so, you do have to think about it like that. It is the know, like, and trust, and it really almost always comes back to that. And this survey even validates that at the top.
Absolutely. And Demo, what would you say if you are brand new and you've just gotten your real estate license? Congratulations. And you are maybe thinking, well, how am I going to build that reputation, that honest and trustworthy reputation as quickly as I can?
Yeah, that's a great question. And really, this part does come back to education. It comes back to making sure you know the market that you're working in, whether it's a neighborhood, an area, if you're working with investors or first-time home buyers, whatever you are going to specialize in, because you cannot specialize in everything, especially from the beginning.
Right.
Super difficult. So just pick an area, pick a neighborhood, something that you're familiar with, because the bonus tip for today is that number 4 on this list is agents' knowledge of the neighborhood at 12%. So really for new agents, key tip right here. Number 2 and number 4 on this list of the top reasons that sellers chose to work with a listing agent. Number 2, agent is honest and trustworthy at 26%, and then agent's knowledge of the neighborhood at 12%. So quick math, 38% puts you right up there at the top, and you could have done 0 transactions as long as you're honest and trustworthy and you know the area or neighborhood.
Right.
So you can do that in a week. Jump into real estate, go in the MLS system, drive around the area, the neighborhood, find out what's going on there, really get plugged in. And then obviously make sure that you understand the real estate process. And we have a lot of great classes here that will teach you contracts and things like that. That is typically the first hurdle that new agents face when they get their license is, well, how do I write a real estate contract? Because really it's not taught in I don't know any
they really don't teach you how to write the contracts. You'll have a general awareness of it usually in your class, but you can have so much fun getting to know the market.
Yep.
You can do so much with that as a new agent, being proactive, diving in there, familiarizing yourself, previewing properties even before you have a buyer.
Definitely. And Derek teaches a lot of great contracts classes here, and we do in general at Solid Source. So make sure to take a look at some of the videos we already have that have that up, but also being able to jump into some of those classes. Learn the contracts, learn the neighborhood in the area, be honest and trustworthy. If you're a new agent and you hit all 3 of those, you're going to be off to a great start. And then for the experienced agent, well, reputation, get those reviews. Go to Google My Business page, make sure you have one of those. Set it up, get reviews on there, get reviews on Zillow, on Facebook, on places that people go and see, and really make sure you maximize that reputation if you have that.
Absolutely.
And if you don't, let's build it.
Yes, and thank you, Demo. And, I do tell agents here at Solid Source, you don't have to sweat the contract part of it, because we do go through, we have trainings and CE classes and videos where we actually go through each section of the contract. So you don't have to sweat that part of it, and you can really focus more on building your reputation.
Definitely, definitely. Well, we hope you found this information helpful. Hopefully it makes you a little bit more confident when you face a listing appointment without having to think, I have to have 5,000 sales behind me and 1,000 reviews in my bucket and all of these designations and all of these things, and really just focus on the meeting with that client, knowing the area, knowing what they need, right? Which really comes back to a pre-listing appointment that we'll talk about in another episode. But really, setting yourself up for success and knowing this information can take you a long way.
Yes.
So thanks for watching and listening today. Let us know if we can help with anything else. You've been listening to the Real Estate Game Plan podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you for listening.